Bond movies are deeply ensconced in our culture, especially here in the UK. It was a real honour to be given the job, and then it was like trying to think about how best to do that job. You know, what is a Bond movie, and what should a Bond movie be? What were the best moments that we'd seen in Bond movies, and how would we maybe pull some of those together for this final one for Daniel? We go back to Ken Adams, who's like the godfather of Bond design and one of the great British designers, often opening his book and looking at the boldness of some of the spaces. They also contain a sort of sense of theatre. Some of the size of some of the sets are amazing. We went to Jamaica, which is the spiritual home we all know of Bond movies. We find in our story that Bond has retired there now. There's something about the place where we built this house. It was just such a spectacular cove. I'm not suggesting that anything you put there would be wonderful, but it was in itself a piece of beautiful nature. Then the task was to build him a house, and we went through various forms of thinking about what that house could be. Should he have bought a house that already existed? Has he made it himself? I saw Bond get out of the boat in his t-shirt and trunks and walk up the wharf with his fish, and in my head a Bond theme tune was playing, and I thought, wow, we are making a Bond movie finally.
Tell him hello, but I don't work for him anymore.
Tell him yourself.
The Cuban Ballroom Spectre event, we finally honed down on a fantastic party with extraordinary people. In the very last minute, we put a couple of staircases in to try and make it a sort of sister piece to the main bar. So it went through 2 or 3 different evolutions, and then we finally ended up with this old musical theatre.
Coño. You're popular tonight.
For our finale, our third act, we arrive at the lair of Safin, who is from a family of master poisoners. And he brought from the Russians an island, so that was our cue to build a giant set. Form, structure over form, it's more about being bold and simple and functional, and it has a purpose. We had some giant corridors. And in fact, we were just trying to make it so that Bond would disappear in the darkness, and just a small amount of light, and that sort of forms a language, a graphic language, where you're just seeing these very clean and simple shapes. In looking at all the references that we enjoyed, it is the simplicity of those shapes that allow the other things to stand out. It's a bit like a dance piece, because it's about movement and the people within it. You keep the background really very, very simple. So hopefully we've given the performers worlds that they felt excited by and involved in, and that will come out when we watch the film.